Adam, that must have been a pretty decent atmosphere on the coach on the way home on Saturday night.
It certainly was, like I say, spirits have been good. There's good togetherness amongst the group, and obviously winning games of football really helps with that.
It does, but it's not just the winning games, it's the deserving to win games, the performance as well that helps.
Yeah, performances have been good. One sort of blip, but pleased with how they've been going. Difficult place to go. We had large spells where we was in control and dealt with their threats really well. They put us under a bit of pressure, and we coped with that really well, which was pleasing to see as well.
So you went from a decent start to, I think you said it was a bang average start after the defeat here against Boston. What are we up to now? It's
a bit better than average, I suppose. Now, like I say, it's not being disrespectful to the league. It's a real tough league. Every game is a challenge, and you can't afford to switch off for any moment. And I think getting that against Boston, full credit to how they set up. They come with a game plan and set up well, and we kept to our principles and responded well. The players have responded in immaculate fashion, really.
I just want to ask you about one more incident. I know we mentioned it briefly after the game on Saturday, but Darragh O'Connor's injury, that was because of the relatively new interpretation of the offside rule. What's your thought on it? Because if the flag goes up immediately, he doesn't get injured.
Exactly that. And I think a couple of their chances come. I think the Rory Watson save was when he was headed out by our player and someone was in offside position, but apparently he wasn't interfering, so they didn't give the offside. But then the ball then goes in our box and they nearly score from it. So yeah, some of the decisions are strange and don't quite get. And like I say, if you just put your flag up when he's offside, then these things don't happen. But disappointing one. But we'll have to adjust and get on with it.
Was there any update on Darragh?
No, he's still quite sore. Didn't train obviously today, but we'll get a scan into him, and as soon as that's done, we'll know a lot more.
Okay. How's everyone else then looking ahead to tomorrow night's game?
Everyone else good. Everyone else trained today. Cam John's back. He was feeling the effects of lots of minutes into his legs. He's back available. Dips is feeling a lot better after the weekend. Bit of just like a sickness bug overnight, so he'll be back in training today and available to go. And I think there's, even with Darragh out, there's with Mo added to the group as well. There's a squad of 20 that are all desperately ready to go. So some real tough decisions to make.
Because you've probably been slightly fortunate so far with the players that you've had available. I'm forgetting people like Callum Harry, who's only just become fit, but Darragh's really the first injury you've picked up this season.
It is, touch wood, don't want to put the dampener on that, but really pleased with Sam's coming and done excellent with the medical department, and he's got Levy back playing minutes as well now on loan, which is good. He missed a lot of football last year, and same with Callum Harriott. It's great to have him back and see him back out on the pitch. So we want to keep him there, and we've done a lot on the recovery, and we've brought new things in so we can test the players to see where they're at from day to day, which was good. We was reliant on the university to do that testing, but we can do it ourselves now. So that will really help with the recovery and hopefully, like I say, bring the injury list down a little bit.
Do you think that's one of the big reasons then maybe why you haven't picked up injuries at the start of this season? I look back to last season, the players looked knackered and there was injuries left, right and centre. It's because of all the work you've been doing behind the scenes.
Definitely, full credit to Paul Holmeston who is here, and Ollie Parker now, and Sam Mannings, and they look at the loads regularly, and quite strict with it, and it's so important to get the right amount of work into players, and there's been times where said players haven't been available for us because they haven't trained enough and stuff, and you're sort of like looking at it and questioning it, but the proof's in the pudding, and there's going to be a time where I'm sure there'll be some injuries, but really pleased with where everything's at the moment.
So it's Braintree tomorrow night, a side that like a 0-0. I think it's fair to say they've drawn the last 3 games 0-0. They don't score many, but clearly they've been pretty good defensively.
They are, yeah. There's the same sort of last season. Come up against them a few times, and it was tough games. You know, they're really sound defensively, and yeah, we're going to have to be at our best to try and break them down. But that's the challenge, and you know, I'm sure I'll know some of the grounds they've been to in the last few years, and you know, to get back to come and play at this place, you know, I'm sure that's what they would have worked so hard for last year. So they'll be up for the occasion definitely, and yeah, we've got to really focus on ourselves and make sure that we're fully focused on the job in hand. And like I say, we set a high level performance-wise, and we can't afford that to drop in any way.
Do you think this game for you and Angelo down at Braintree provides something just a little bit different, because he obviously knows you, might not know York City, but he knows how you want to play football, and you've come across Braintree quite a number of times in the recent past?
Yeah, we come across each other a bit. I think, you know, personnel-wise, he'll know a few of our players as well. But you know, other than that, it's a relatively new team for him. He's made some good additions as well. Got a bit of experience in there with some youthful legs as well. So his recruitment's very good. So yeah, it'll be a little bit different in terms of personnel-wise, but he'll definitely, you know, be coming with full of confidence, trying to get the win, I'm sure.
And I'm guessing you will make changes again tomorrow because of the close proximity of the games this week. And we've talked about in the past, when you're getting results, it's so easy for your players to buy in. I don't presume you have had any players really coming knocking at your door so far this season, apart from you mentioned John Lewis maybe, and you've had a chat with him about why he's not been starting games. For players who started on Saturday and maybe get left out tomorrow, they will understand that if that's the case, it's not because of anything they did wrong at the weekend. It's just the way that it is, and you've got so many players you can choose from.
That's it. Yeah, like I say, the group are really together and really brought into how we want to do it. We want to keep it fresh as much as we can. But yeah, like Len sort of didn't come to me really. It was more me going to him, because you know, I just felt if anyone did have a so-called problem, or if anyone felt they should be starting, it was Len really. So I sort of went to him. I went to him and just said, look, I know that you'd be frustrated and you're doing an unbelievable job for us and unbelievable job for the team. And you know, his response was, I just want to see York City be successful. And you know, you didn't expect anything different from Len, to be honest. Such a good role model, good character, and everyone's sort of buying into that at the moment. Like I say, we are definitely going to need to freshen it up a little bit, and there's players that are not quite ready to go Saturday, Tuesday yet, and again, the work from the players and the staff on that side of it really helps us to manage it.
You've given the supporters who've travelled to the last 2 games so much to enjoy with the results. How important do you think it is that you get back to winning ways here for the first time since you played Boston?
So important. You know, we really felt we sort of let them down a little bit on the day. Not just, you know, like I say, full credit to Boston, but just our own performance we thought was a little bit below par. You know, we didn't create enough, and you know, we want to be that team that entertains the crowd, and we had a big following that day. So yeah, we're keen to show what we're about, and trying to eradicate their memories of that last game.
When you are making changes virtually on a game-to-game basis, when are you actually telling the players when they're playing? Will you train today, or have you trained today with the 11 that are going to play tomorrow? So you've got people like Ryan Fallowfield, who's played as a centre-back, has played at full-back. Joe Felix has played on the right, and now he's on the left. How much work goes into it on a game-by-game basis with the players?
We'll do work today and shape up with the team in mind. So then, yeah, have those conversations today with the players that obviously be disappointed to be missing out. But you know, like I say, it's quite easy at the moment. I'm sure there's going to come a time where those conversations are going to get tougher. But yeah, it's the worst part of the job. But you know, it's got to be done. And like just try to be honest with them, give them clear reasoning behind why I'm doing what I'm doing, and like I say all the time, winning that's easier to get that buy-in. But yeah, they're a good group. They're together.
Hi Adam.
Hiya.
A really impressive victory over Wealdstone at the weekend. What are you hoping your players can take from that match into this Braintree game?
There was little bits of detail that we've worked on that we haven't been happy with when we've been attacking the field, that we've been vulnerable a bit to the counter attack. So getting the defence to make sure that we're sort of locked up behind the ball when we're attacking. Little tweaks in our defensive shape to make sure the ball's not going through us and it can go to the outside, that we showed the players. So yeah, just to carry on and keep on improving on those little bits of detail that we've shown the players in recent weeks.
Darragh O'Connor's injury, how has he sort of fit into the squad since he's made the move over from Scotland, obviously, so he's travelled quite far for this. How's he sort of settled in at York?
Settled in brilliantly. He's moved to the area. I don't think it's quite in York, but he's close enough, and settled in with his partner, and I think they've got a dog and that now, so he seems to be loving the Yorkshire life, and it's a good group to be a part of, and Darragh's settled into that really well.
And Malachi Fagan-Walker, when he came on, I thought he did quite well. What did you think of his performance?
Yeah, I thought he was excellent, to be honest. Really calm and composed. I think the first pass he gave away, but he didn't let his head drop, didn't let it bother him too much, and carried on going and showed a high level of professionalism after that. I thought he won some really big headers for us, and also he's nice and calm on the ball. So a rare trait at our level to have someone that's that dominant in the air, so comfortable on the ball as well with their feet. So I thought it was a really good first display, but he set a high standard, and I'm sure he wants to stick to that, and consistency now in his game is going to be really important.
Callum Harriott got his first minutes in over a year, I believe it is. Not over a year, sorry, since last December. Do you have to do any extra work with him to make sure that he's not any close to an injury after such a long time without playing?
It's so important. Like I say, the extra bit of work that the medical staff have done, and we're going to have to manage certain players differently, and Callum's going to be one of them. But ultimately, we want him out on the pitch more. So we'll be doing all we can to try and make that the case this year. He's had a bit of a injury-ravaged career so far, and we want him to really fulfil his potential and get to the heights that we know he can with us. And to do that, we've got to maybe have a specific program for him day-to-day, recovery-wise, and it might take a little bit longer to recover. He's come on for a spell, and he's probably not going to be ready to start and get 60, 70 minutes into him just yet, but we'll build it up nicely. That's going to be the goal, and he's fully on board with that as well.
What's your relationship like with Angelo Harrop of Braintree?
Yeah, get on well. I think there's a bit of a mutual respect. Respect Angelo a lot. He's done an amazing job since he's gone into Braintree. His recruitment's normally spot on, and he's very well organised his teams, and I'm not surprised that he's picking up results at this level. So yeah, a huge amount of respect on my side for him, and yeah, look forward to welcoming him here, because we both come from humble places, and to be both battling it out in a venue like this is amazing. So yeah, we welcome him, but obviously want him to leave disappointed.
I know some managers have different views of it, but do you keep an eye on the table during the season, or is it something where you just mainly focus on the points tally that you've got?
No, it's literally just performances really, and looking at where we can improve for the next game, and just take it game by game, and no more than that. I've always focused that way. I think even going into Worthing and coming into York, both teams weren't doing brilliant, so you didn't want to get too despondent by looking at the table then. So we just wanted to focus game by game, and that seems to have worked for us. So yeah, won't change and be any different on that.
And after back-to-back away trips to London, it feels like it's been ages since we've been at the LER. How excited are you to be back on home soil tomorrow night?
Yeah, it feels like a long time coming, and especially I think it makes it feel even longer that last time we was here we were so disappointed and left so disappointed, and we're desperate to try and put that right.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks.
Great win at the weekend. A few things of note. Obviously, Fagan Walcott, an assured debut. Watson, a miraculous reaction save. And Nathaniel George turned provider against Dagenham to potential goal of the month. He must be someone that you think has got some real potential.
He is. Same. I think we had a conversation before the game and said, some of the forward players are yet to come to the party, and he could have maybe put in that bracket, but I think we see in full evidence what he can provide for us. A really exciting player. Didn't have the best of pre-seasons in terms of had picked up a bit of a hamstring problem, so that sort of set him back a little bit. But working his way back to full fitness, and I thought it was an unbelievable display. Every time we got it, he get us on the edge of our seat, and that's what you want from your wide players. And I thought Ty done excellent second half. In particular, I thought his pressing for Ollie's goal was really good as well. So we've got some real exciting players in that top end of the pitch, and it's down to us to get that potential out of them.
Another feature was there was quite a few speculative shots. People weren't afraid to fail, in effect. Is that something you're encouraging?
Yeah, definitely. That's the improvement I want to see. I want us to be, more progressive with our passing, and not just take the easy option and play back. I think there's too many times we play back when we can turn and play forward ourselves. So that's got to be the improvement that we're trying to make. And with that, we want to then get the ball into the final third a lot more. You want, once the ball's in that final third, players to have the confidence to try things. And there was a little 1-2 as well. Ty and I think Ash little Cruyff turn back heel and then shot, and that's the kind of football I want to see. I want them to play with that confidence and try things in that final third.
On to Braintree, conceded only 1 goal in 4, so they are defensively quite sound. Added to it with Frankie Terry on loan from Colchester, who apparently had a very good debut at the weekend. Is the onus going to be on you to score rather than them to sort of attack? Angelo's always had really solid teams, but whenever we played them we found it difficult. We definitely want to be an attacking minded team. Like I say, we want to be more progressive with our passing and get the ball into the final third, and it's down to us to find that whatever it takes to unlock the defence, the good defence that they've got. At the same time, they still want to be a threat and win the game as well. So, we won't change too much on what we do, and we know it's going to be a tough evening. And to quote the term mentality monsters, do you want that to be part of it as well? Looking back to the Boston game, to be fair, that wasn't a flash in the pan. They've done quite well since. But is there additional pressure tomorrow night?
I don't think so. Only the pressure that we put on ourselves. I put a lot of pressure on myself going into every game, and the players are starting to pick up on that as well, and starting to put that on themselves to perform, and want to keep their standards really high. That would be the main pressure that we put on ourselves, really, and that's pressure that comes with being at a big football club. We know we're definitely at one here, and we want to enjoy that kind of pressure. The pressure of winning games of football is there from day to day, and every time you step out. So things won't change for us on that side of it.
Brilliant away following again on Saturday. Hopefully a huge crowd again tomorrow night.
Really hopeful. Hopefully they can give us another chance after Boston. That's the way we're looking at it. Really, we want to put on a show. Like I say, it feels like a long time coming, especially after how disappointed everybody left after that game. And that's not us being disrespectful to the opposition, because I thought they was first class, but we're just disappointed with how we played. I think there was too many loose passes, and I think if you're that loose on the ball, then that's got to come down to a mindset. So we're hoping we can get that right.
Thanks.
Games like Boston that you learn most from?
It is, yeah, but you know, like I say, full respect to Ian and how he set up his team. He's come up with a game plan to try and stop us, and you know, when the game is like that, the first goal is important, and we just didn't quite get it on the day. So I think the mindset was a little bit off in terms of a bit slack in our passing, but you know. You maybe, yeah, like I say, need a game like that to see where all the players are at.
And it feels like you're just starting to get some positive momentum after a couple of difficult seasons. How much of that is the work that's been put in off the field by Matt and Julie since they came in, on the field since you came in, starting to sort of pay dividends? Yeah,
definitely. You know, they would have hoped, I'm sure, Matt and Julianne, that you know, it would have kicked into the way it's sort of going now, maybe a little bit earlier for them, but you know, you can't fault what they've done off the pitch. I think it's been really well done, and you know, patience has been needed, and you know, we've had to block out a bit of noise when I first come in, and you know, focus on the job in hand, and you know, really pleased now that we're starting to, you know, produce performances that they can be pleased of as well.
I mean, obviously when you first came in, it was a different job really. It was a bit more of a firefighting job. So how difficult was it to put those foundations in place, and how much of it had to wait until the summer?
I think hindsight's a wonderful thing, but having the opportunity to come in when we did and assess the squad maybe put us a little bit ahead of the game really. If we was to wait till the summer, then you're just trying to work out what players you wanted, because there's a lot of players in the building when we come in, and you know, there wasn't all going to fit our style and fit what we wanted to do. So to have that bit of time at the end of last season to work that out has been really important.
And all the sports science work and the rotation, I presume that's all geared to getting stronger and stronger as the season goes on.
Definitely that. I mean, you know, you want the players, like I say, Callum Harriott and Ashley with his hamstring and stuff. Even Ty missed a bit of pre-season as well. So you want that build-up to come so that they are robust enough to go 90, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, if that's needed. And you know, I know that's going to take time, but that's the plan. You want all your players available to play every minute. It's not always going to be the case, but you know, with the good work that's been put in place behind off the pitch, we're hoping that we'll see a better turnout in terms of players being available. And
just in terms of the off-pitch stuff, obviously Tony's job description's changed recently. How does your working relationship with him change, if at all?
Yeah, worked really closely with Tony in the summer. He's sort of took on a director of football type role. You know, since then really, so he's probably just been given the title now and got agreed, but he's probably been performing that role for us since the summer, so don't see it changing too much. We've got a good relationship, you know, really respect the work he's done for us so far. You know, when you inherit staff, it takes a while to work out whether they're for you or not, but you know, the lads that we inherited, Joe Stead and Tony McMahon, have been superb on that side of it, and I think if anything we're getting a closer relationship the more we sort of work together.
So was that a direction you were keen to encourage Tony to go down the direction?
Yeah, I think so. I think just for like how well he performed in the summer for us in terms of getting players in and getting players out. He worked an unbelievable job, so I think it was a natural progression for him, and I think it'd be really excellent addition on it.
Because you know, the getting players outside is quite underestimated, isn't it? It's really important. You obviously inherited quite a big squad last season. So important. Yeah, I was keen to sort of get our sort of players in that knew our style and knew of us, and you know, you wouldn't be able to do that if you had 30 players already in the building. So you know, it was a really big turnaround of players this summer. But yeah, we're really pleased with how it's turned out. Smashing. Thank you very much.